My name is Alvin Mays, and I don't really know exactly how I fit into all of this, but I'll just talk a little bit about how I got to Washington. You made a comment earlier that I don't know that I understand, but I think I believe the opposite of what you said. I think we always take all of our history in our dance. Everything we do is a reflection of our history, and we carry it with us in everything we do. So I got started dancing at the University of Michigan, where I was in a musical, Camelot. I was one of the knights. And we had to do all types of fight scenes and dancing in the lusty month of May kind of thing. And one of the actors said that I should take dance at the university's dance department. So I wandered over there and I did. And I was really very lucky because there was a master class going on with Jose Limon. and I was hooked from that moment on. So anyway, I also did a lot of things that I think a lot of people have done, a lot of things that have kind of contributed to how you get from point A to point Z in your dance career. I was a foreign exchange student to Israel when I was in high school, and one of the things that we did at the kibbutz was a lot of folk dancing. I mean, a lot of folk dancing. And I think in many ways that contributed to my love of ensemble work more than anything else. I prefer that much more than solo work, my own solo work, or watching anybody's solo work. Just the sense of what dance does for community, and the sense of making a community joyful, or community have any kind of response that you wanted to have through movement. I think that was the most influential thing that I could really put my hand on to say. Anyway, I graduated from college after having danced for about 3 years and decided, all right, I'm done with that. And so I graduated with a degree in mathematics, and so I taught mathematics in high school. But when I arrived at the high school that I was teaching at, there was a woman there who was a gymnastics coach, and she had a dance club. And so she said, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I need somebody else to choreograph some of these pieces. Because you have to choreograph 20 pieces when you have a dance club. So I choreographed one dance, and she then came to me and told me, she said, I'm pregnant, and so I'm going to be out next year with the maternity leave, and I want you to take over this dance club. And I said, are you crazy? I said, no, that's not what I bargained for. But I ended up taking over the dance club, and because I was male, I brought men into the dance club. And in the 4 years that I had the dance club there, we went from 36 students to 117. And of that 117, we had 35 guys. And so we did a lot of performing all over Detroit and everywhere. And so then after that point on, Glory Newman Dance Theater was performing in Detroit and asked me to join their company, so I went to California and started dancing and realized right away that I could not make it as a performer or professional dancer in Los Angeles, because you rehearsed all day, every day, and you perform maybe 5 times a year. And I was just like, there was just no way I can live, doing this. So I immediately started tutoring mathematics and substitute teaching mathematics, and then some of the dancers at the studio that I was taking classes from said that there was a position opening at Orange Coast College, which is in Costa Mesa, California. And so I said, well, I've never really taught dance. I've choreographed, but I've never taught dance. They said, you're a fast study, so what we will do is we will teach you a class to teach at your audition. He says, and just, act as if it's a performance. So you go in and you teach the classes like we told your teacher. We'll even give you corrections to give. Because there's going to be somebody in the class who's going to make this mistake. So I did. I got the job. So then I said, okay, now I have to really learn how to teach dance. So it was a dance program that was huge, actually. Orange Coast College was, and probably still is, one of the largest two-year colleges in the country with 47,000 students. And so when we went in, we were part of the phys ed department, and they had a lot of money. So they had not only had a lot of money, but wanted to use it. And since they were a part of the phys ed department, and I don't know if you know anything about Southern California, athletics is huge. And when I say athletics, I'm not just talking about sports. I'm talking about, they consider yoga classes part of athletics. They consider Pilates classes part of athletics. And so they were always furthering of what kinds of things you can do. One of the things I did was I taught stretch classes to the athletes. And I did a lot of things. Well, I also didn't like Southern California that much, so I then looked for another option, and so found out that Maryland Dance Theater and the University of Maryland had an opening for a teacher. And in particular, they really wanted a male teacher, but they couldn't say that. So I came out and auditioned. And unfortunately, the cherry blossoms were in bloom. And I came here and I said, this is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. It was absolutely gorgeous. I was just like, oh, I love it here, I love it here. Well, no one told me that they don't stay that long. But I came. And so that's how I got here. But then when I got here, I arrived in the summer before I started teaching. And I was one of those dancers that, you had to take class every day. I mean, I didn't know how not to dance and not take classes every day. So I asked them, where do you take class? Where do you take class? And they say, you have to go to the dance project with Jan Van Dyke. And so I said, okay, how do I get there? And so they told me how to get there. I was convinced when I first moved here that no matter what road you got on, you ended up crossing the river going to Virginia. I said, like, how can I keep ending up in Virginia? No matter what road you got on, you ended up in Virginia. So I learned to take incredible notes about directions to different places, to the point that still, in our department, when anyone wants to know directions somewhere, they come to me. Alvin will give me very specific notes, and you won't go to Virginia. But anyway, when I arrived here, I really kind of came in as an innocent in many ways, and because I was an innocent, I had some opportunities befell on me that a lot of other dancers did not. One of them is that I refused to play the game of the modern dance campus over here, the ballet campus over here, the jazz campus over there. I refused to do that. And so I would go in and I would just say, okay, for the classes. And so I would remember going to Jan Van Dyke and taking modern, which was Cunningham modern. And then I said, there has to be more than Cunningham. And so then I met some people and they said, well, then you have to go to Dance Exchange. And then that's when I met Liz. And then this was Liz Lerman. Then I also went in ballet because I was used to having at least 4 ballet classes a week. So I didn't know where to pick out ballet. So they said, well, there's only one place to take up adult ballet, and you have to go to Washington School of Ballet. So I went there, and the first day I arrived, I met Eric Hampton, and we became lifelong friends in the dance community. And they needed men because they were going to try to get the green table. And so they told me, well, if you'll be in the green table just for the learning of it, we'll give you free classes. Well, I I thought that was good. So I learned the green table and I got free ballet classes. So that was a wonderful thing as far as I was concerned. As I said, I came to join a dance company called Maryland Dance Theater. And Maryland Dance Theater was a company at the time that was directed by Larry Warren and co-directed by his wife Ann Warren. And that was a really wonderful company in a lot of ways.